offensive in what it implies about the consumer. It implies the consumer is too stupid to be able to tell the difference between when a human being tells you a story or draws a picture and when a computer does it. And it is Monday morning. Hello, everybody. I'm back to do stupid stuff. Ba, 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 ba. Anyway, I am going to get some breakfast and then I'm going to work. It's a 3-day week this week because we are closed the 3rd and 4th. I did not end up really getting any work done last night. I did open the project and looked at it and stuff. I just didn't actually get to it. That's okay. I did a whole video and then I kind of let myself veg. And to be real, we need time to decompress and stuff, so I just need to stop beating myself up about it. I will be trying to work some tonight, but I also am not going to kill myself over editing when I was doing literally nothing up until a week ago. So I'm not going to break my neck to try to insist on a specific thing, especially because editing is a different animal than writing. It requires engagement from your brain in a very different way. I don't think it does anyone any good for me to pretend that's not the case. But yeah, my video went up, and that's a whole thing. I don't know for sure if I have anything else to say about Christina K at this point or that whole situation. As of right now, it doesn't seem like anybody is particularly aware of her in my circle, which is good, because that means that she hasn't gotten to my people, and I don't like when people fuck with my people. I bought a Taco Bell box for lunch. Turns out I don't like Baja Blast. That's something I know now. I haven't even gotten out of my house and I have the hiccups, and I'm fucking irritated. Like, so fucking irritated. You guys, I fucking hate the hiccups. I hate it so much. Like, it makes me angry. I did, I don't know, 20 or 30 pages last night. Pretty happy with my progress yesterday afternoon. I don't know what my plans are for today. I'm happy that I made so much progress yesterday. I just wasn't really feeling video games, so I just went ahead and did the work while I was not playing games. So I'm pretty happy with it thus far. We're continuing to log and figure out where things are. I think I might have found like a plot hole that I didn't remember, which is good because that's the point of this whole thing, is for me to find the things that I haven't easily found previously. You guys, it's fucking gorgeous out. Like, I don't want to be at work. And I only work 2 more days this week. I work today and tomorrow. And then we're off the 3rd and the 4th. And then the 7th, I go in for a half day. And then that night, we go see Wu-Tang. So I took the 8th off, too, so that I don't have to worry about being tired from the Wu-Tang. So, yeah, I got like a whole array of stuff going on now. I'm not used to, like, having plans in my life. I'm used to my life just being like, keep doing the same thing over and over, keep doing it, over and over, keep doing it. At any rate, it's the end of my week, because of the holiday. So I am functionally starting vacation tomorrow. I was up super late. We had some family shit going on, so I was up till almost 1 in the morning. I'm trying desperately to go to sleep. I'm downtown waiting for my coworker to come out of the courthouse building, and this man came over to the window and tried to offer me $10 to drive him somewhere. I don't know you, sir. I won't be doing that. Hello. So it's 3 o'clock on Thursday. I've been working a little bit on Hell's Bend. I'm like 10 pages into reviewing. Still logging information. It's 239 pages, and I'm on 87. So there's still a lot to go, but I'm making progress. I also look dead. I don't know why. I don't know if that... Is it the lighting? There's nothing wrong. I just look like hail. Back at it. I don't know why I picked to do the things the way I do them, but I am currently in a moderately apocalyptic setting. But I need Duncan. So, apocalypse be damned. Okay, so now I'm in the car. I did do editing last night. Well, I did do logging last night. It's not really editing yet. I'm seeing some like the little tendrils falling off the edges where I need to tighten them in. So I'm like processing and identifying that those are there, which is more than I knew before. So it gives me a chance to address all of it and to actually get the information in a place where I can figure out how to make sure that it gets treated the way it needs to. But there's definitely some like, oh, I didn't really explain that at all. And that's not great. That's part of what I'm doing here, is figuring out where those spots are and trying to address them. And I think I'm doing that. Well, it's 20 after 3. I am working on Hell's Bend and hanging out in Discord with CJ. Dana was here earlier, but she is no longer here. She had other stuff to do. And so CJ and I are still working. I don't know how long that's going to go on for, but that's what we're doing. Well, I had stream this morning. Everything went really well. I got some work done. I also did a little bit of video work. I am going to insert some of the stream footage. So it was either before this or it'll be now. Yeah, so we have talked, the two of us, quite a little bit about AI and why it matters. And I know that that's something that a lot of people have made very clear how they feel about it, but it's also something that a whole lot of people have purposefully been very quiet about. So I think it's important that we talk about how damaging generative AI is. First of all, let's just drop some ground rules. We are talking about generative AI. We are not talking about the AI that says, usually when you get an email with an attachment on it, you say, great, thanks. So do you want to say great, thanks? That's not generative AI. Microsoft Word's grammar editor, not generative AI. Grammarly, not generative AI. When you go into Photoshop and you clear out an area and you say, make a panda bear be there, that's generative AI. When you change your background and you describe to it what you want it to look like and it makes it, that's generative AI. Frequently, you can tell when you zoom in that something is generative AI because things don't flow into each other the way humans do. You know, leaves will end if a human draws them. A lot of times they'll just taper off and disappear and they don't attach to the branch. Used to be fingers were really bad. Fingers have gotten better over time. So fingers aren't really an easy place to go to protect yourself from AI. But the fact of the matter is that if you are out here creating writing, you have no business using AI. Generative AI is built on the backs of artists without their permission and without paying them. We're all out here making art as human beings and pretending that a computer can do the same thing at the same effectiveness is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel about it.
I agree. I'm going to agree. And I absolutely, and it's the more and more I sit here and I think about it, especially like when I start working on my projects and stuff, the more and more like agitated I'm getting because,
well, and there's this myth in online writer groups that that if you share like with a beta reader, that beta reader's going to steal your story and write themselves.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen, but AI does that.
Yeah.
People don't really do that. That's not a real thing, but AI does that. AI takes all your work, shoves it into a pool, and lets someone else write a book with your work or make a picture with your work.
And and it's like everybody I remember it was only a few years ago, right before the Rona, that people the beta thing was a thing. Like you were like, oh, you got to protect your work, copyrighted, all this other stuff. And my initial thought was, okay, if it took me all of this time and effort and everything for somebody to steal my work, they'd have to put some time and some effort into it. And now they don't have to
Right.
because this generative AI and
Yeah, because to be fair, there is some legwork in me reading your story and then converting it to make it look like I wrote it. There is some
right,
work being done there.
right,
Like, and some of it probably depends on me being able to like string a sentence together. So, like, there is some skill needed to steal traditionally,
traditionally, yeah,
but AI takes all the skill out of the stealing part. So, like, now it's so easy to steal it, which means that people are more inclined to.
right. And just like so just the other day, like legitimately, it was Wednesday. We were coming home, and Mr. Fox and I were having a conversation, and I had said, I need to get back into a routine. I need to focus on getting back into my work. I said, I need to get these stories finished so that I can actually start making some money off of it. Why? Because I pay someone to make my covers. I pay a cover artist to make my covers. I pay someone to make sure that my website is updated so that my hashtags and all this other stuff is still
Yep.
like relevant to what's going on. I pay someone else, I pay someone else, I pay someone else. And so after him and I had this conversation, which Mr. Fox is very, very encouraging about me doing the things that I need to get done in order to be successful. But then you and I started having this conversation, and then you and I wrote, and the more I start thinking about it, I'm like, this is absolute theft, and we're allowing people inside of our community to steal from other people. So if I used an AI generated book cover, I'm now stealing from my friend who is trying to make her own self successful and make her own business. And the more and more I started thinking about it, I was like, no, this is
And
absolutely
and you're getting an inferior product as well,
yeah,
because human beings make art and computers make bastardized art. Like,
yeah,
a computer cannot make art. Um,
absolutely.
it can steal art and smoosh it together, but it can't make art.
Right. And so I guess like my question to anyone watching this who calls themselves an artist is the independent person who's trying to do this hustle on their own. How could you possibly think that this is okay? How can you justify stealing from your fellow artists, from people who are actually putting the time, the effort, the finances into this?
Right.
How can you justify doing this? And then for those people who have massive amounts of following who are actually making money off of this bullshit, how do you justify to your readers selling them a box of crap?
Because they don't care about their consumer. Like, that's not the point at all. And that's another thing that I think doesn't get talked about enough with AI, is that it is offensive in what it implies about the consumer. It implies the consumer is too stupid to be able to tell the difference between when a human being tells you a story or draws a picture and when a computer does it. And I find that offensive. Like, I would be offended if I was given a book that was AI, because you should know better than to think that that's good enough.
And then like then I started thinking about, okay, well, let's say I had a huge following on TikTok and I made a video using AI, just a goofy video. None of my videos are serious
Right.
in those.
Right.
And I decided to use AI to create a goofy video. All my videos have my hashtags in them or links to wherever you want to go to find my things. And so I think that that is okay if you're making silly videos. But these people who are actually using generated AI to bring their fake stolen characters to life and are now making money off of the people who are watching this. And when I saw that, I was like, you gotta fucking be kidding.
Yeah, so there's this, company called Character AI, and, they do a thing where, I guess a book talker had, actually gotten, paid to try to advertise this, where you go in and you give it essentially a Chat GPT style, prompt, and it lets you have a conversation with characters, and it's all AI. I do not know a world in which an author should be encouraging people to use that. And I'm not quite sure that there is a justified person who can say they don't understand the problems of generative AI. The thing we haven't talked about is the fact that it is environmentally damaging as well. The servers that use AI use a whole bunch of water to cool them, and it ruins the water, and it it is incredibly detrimental to our planet. And, the aliens should just come take us out.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. That's a full actual statement because, well, and then even yesterday, because I didn't, until you brought that to my attention, I had no idea that AI,
Was environmentally, yeah.
yeah, had any kind of impact on the environment. And people are always out here like screaming and getting all stupid about, you know, nuclear power plants creating electricity or the fucking windmills
Right.
that are killing birds because apparently the birds are too stupid not to fly in.
Also, I could lay in a field and stare at windmills for days.
Oh, I know.
Oh, they're
I know.
so cool.
When we were talking about the environmental impact that these have on them and how angry people get about windmills and about nuclear power plants and about all of these things, I was like, okay, well, so now not only are you a thief stealing from other artists, independent or not, because this doesn't just affect
No,
the independent
no.
platform, this affects artists across the board. So not only are you a thief across the board, now you are negatively impacting and profiting off of the planet,
Yep.
and yet you go around and you're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Man, this is some bullshit." So
Well, and it hits different to catch a fish and harm the planet by eating a fish so you don't starve to death than it does to ruin the planet because you wanted to make a funny picture. Like that's different.
and I mean, in all reality, catching a fish to feed yourself is not gonna ruin the planet.
Oh,
Now
but we have too many
overfishing,
humans. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, overfishing, that ruins the planet. I mean, you can wipe out an entire ecosystem when you get your fucking ghost nets out there and are overfishing and catching turtles and all this other shit. So yeah, that is, and it really, and stop fucking around. It just makes me mad. Like seriously, it has pissed me off ever since we started having this conversation. And then, like, I started watching the facts and stuff, and then and I'm gonna go out on a ledge here, and I'm not gonna drop any names or anything, but knowing that there are people in our circle who we know.
Yeah, who seem to be using it. Yeah. And I'm not 100% sure. I can't prove that some of these things are AI, but there's definitely people in the YouTube writing community who have things that appear to be AI.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Okay, you know what? I know firsthand how frustrating it is. You put in all this time and effort, and you're not getting paid immediately because it's a long-term goal. It's something that you're
And
it's
books
not."
don't sell fast usually. Like
Yeah,
those are exceptions, not rules.
right.
The people who sell out on day one, that is an exception, that is not the rule.
And in my experience, those people they aren't necessarily being the most authentic people that they could possibly be. I mean, we've found a couple of in the past, we found a couple of people who've done real good, and then it turns out that they were doing some shady shit. So,
Right, right. And that I
yeah.
think that's true in art communities because art is the kind of thing where people who don't understand it feel like it's okay. I think if you don't have the drive and the internal thing to to build art, I think it's a lot easier to not understand. But I definitely feel like if you make art yourself, then you are held to a different standard and you should be. Yes, you do have a higher bar, but that's because you're claiming you're a professional.
Absolutely.
And
So
I think if you're making YouTube videos and telling other people how to write books, that you better fucking claim you're a professional.
and yeah, and if you are claiming that you're writing the books, write the fucking book. I mean, I'm an author, yet a computer does the work for me. You're not.
And here's the thing is that AuthorTube is full of retellings. People love a
Yeah.
retelling. So it's not that you
Right.
can't retell something. It's not that you can't
Right.
tell a similar story. It's that you can't steal it.
But that's a huge difference. Is I think so. So I'm currently working on a retelling. If you took the original work that I am using as my retelling, you can clearly see the difference. The difference between what the original author wrote versus my retelling of what the
Right, you're not just tweaking what the author wrote, like, line by line to make it sound more like Dana.
these people are stealing.
Yeah, and that's the
And
thing is, like, there is a place for retellings. That is not something that the writing community is against. In fact,
no,
also, fan fiction is not a thing the writing community is against. That
I would almost be I wouldn't even say I'm not even gonna I would absolutely be honored if like all of the sudden like something I wrote created like a fan fiction work.
right,
I'd be like,
right.
"Oh, yeah, I finally did something right."
Yeah, and that's great, but fan fiction is also written by people, you know?
Yes.
And it's people who are in love with a world, and so they wanna go
Yeah.
play in that world. They don't
Yeah, like
they don't wanna, like, ask someone else to play in that world, like, it's okay to not be an artistic person.
and
You don't
sometimes
have to. Nobody requires that.
you get those wonderful, like, fans who absolutely love Josh Hutchinson and create some of the most
Right,
terrible fan fiction ever, but they put the work into it. They put the effort into it. They poured their heart into being multiple characters in their own story, and that's okay. At least it's them doing
right, right. That's the thing is, like, a badly written story that you wrote is better than a well-written AI story. It just is. I would rather read your badly written story than an expertly written AI story. So,
100%.
and I think rationally, most people believe that as well. Like, most people feel that way and would prefer to read someone's actual art. And here's the other thing. Art isn't for everyone. No art is made for every person. Tons of people think the Mona Lisa is boring. It's also like this big. That doesn't negate the fact that the rest of the world thinks the Mona Lisa is important. You don't have to appreciate every piece of art.
Yeah. I am among those who are like, why are we so hung up on this Mona Lisa chick? Like I know it's primarily the artist who created her, maybe, but and here's the thing, okay? Since we're talking about the Mona Lisa, this man poured his heart and soul into this painting, right? He poured his heart and soul into this painting, and hundreds of years later, people still stand before it looking at it, and they come up with this mystery in their mind. And like every time I see it, I think of something else. Well,
But
maybe this is his lover. Maybe it's his mother. Maybe it's his, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like a fascination that our brain has with questions and diving deeper. And my couch keeps appearing.
Yeah. I know.
Couch.
He had a computer generated the Mona Lisa. Would hundreds of years from now,
No,
would people still stand before it and think, "Who is this woman? Why is there so much emotion attached to this woman? You know, was this the artist's lover or sister or whoever?" You know, no, no. 100 years from now, people are going to look at AI generated artwork and they're going to be like, "Well, this is boring,"
and my
or "Why are
and
her eyes
bad.
so damn big?" Yeah.
Yeah,
Why is it the people in the background don't have they look like blurry face? They look like
right, right,
horror creatures
right.
instead
Like,
of
and their face kind of just melts off of the side, and yeah,
yeah. So I think that it's safe to say that I am disappointed. I am absolutely 110% gonna stand behind my disappointment of anyone that I know who is using generated AI in order to make themselves I don't even wanna say more better, okay?
No, to make themselves finish something, because I think that's really the thing that entices people the most is the idea, well, you'll actually finish something. And it's like, yeah, but like
To
sometimes the hard part is hard for a reason. It's hard to finish. And
need
that's okay.
yeah. I think that I am much more I'm proud when the people I know actually finish a project that they're working on, regardless of how long it has taken them to do it, because they actually did it.
Right. Like
And
I have
like this
stories that I got out in 60 days.
uh,
And CJ has a novel she's been working on since before I met her, and I've known her for 24 years, 25 years.
yeah. Well, at the
Um,
beginning of the year, sat down together and I was pulling out all kind what was it? 90 freaking half-written stories that I'm
yeah,
like, maybe if I should sit down and actually finish one of
yeah, it's very easy to start stuff. And I think that also takes away from how much work it is emotionally to follow through and finish something. I think it's important to be comfortable with the idea that follow through is going to be hard, but you have to do it.
absolutely.
Like you can't finish your art if you don't follow through. And it doesn't matter what kind of art it is, as far as I know. And somebody knows that I'm wrong and there's some other kind of art that doesn't require you to finish it, let me know.
Yeah, well, and you know what? I think that would be another thing that I would be interested in hearing people who do use generated AI justify justify it. Justify to me, justify it. Tell
Right.
me why you are okay with this bullshit stealing from from your fellow community, from your fellow artists, from your
Mhm.
fellow justify to me because quite frankly, it's theft.
Yeah, it is.
It's theft, and I wouldn't steal from you, and it makes me disgusted that you would be willing to steal from others in your community. And I'm not talking about just the author tube community or the writer tube community or whatever. I'm talking about the artist.
Yeah, if I took you to a party at a friend's house and I looked over and you were pocketing some of their stuff, we wouldn't be friends anymore. We'd be done.
Correct.
Like it just that should be it. I'm sorry, but I can't be around somebody I can't trust in my friends' homes. And I feel like that's the same thing. It's the same, like, if I can't trust that you're not gonna steal my friends' writing, then
Yeah.
then you don't need to be in my presence. And I understand that being in my presence isn't the biggest prize, but
I mean, I think it is. I think I would absolutely not steal from your other friends so that you and I could continue to be friends. But I value our relationship. So yeah.
but yeah,
But
so
yeah,
that was
so I guess that would be my takeaway. Anybody who's watching this, if you use generated AI, justify it. Like, make me understand why you think that it's okay to steal from other writers, to steal from cover art, cover artist,
well,
steal from
and we talked about this last night, but I want to reiterate it on the stream. Adobe Photoshop has a generative AI function that it claims is ethical. And here's my concern about it. If I buy 5 ethically AI generated items from Adobe and I use one of them, I might be able to make sure that the artist that work was based off of gets paid for the one, but the other 4 aren't anywhere publicly. So those 4 people might not know that those were made. How do I know that they're still getting paid? I feel like, the number of times in my lifetime, and historically that I know of, where, the government has gone, "Well, we went into this corporation and they weren't doing anything they said they were gonna do," is way too many for me to trust that. They Corporations have proven over and over and over again, especially in America, where they are people, that they will do whatever they need to make their money, and they do not care if you choke to death and die on it. And so I don't, as much as I use Adobe for that, for like, my editing and shit, I do not feel comfortable with the generative AI that they use. And also, to be real, I fucked with it when they first said that it was ethically sourced. It's not good. So I don't know that it matters.
You're like, oh, it's kind of shit anyway. But
Yeah, see, Haley, and I don't know for sure that Adobe is lying, but the fact that I can't prove that they aren't, and because they're Adobe, who are lying liars, um, that's why I don't trust it, is because, like, they have proven repeatedly that their bottom line is more important than human beings, and I'm not gonna pretend that I don't know that. It's easy to stick your head in the sand.
And that's yes, that is was exactly the next thing that I was about to say, because when we have been having this conversation on and off for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And at first, when we started having this conversation, I was just kind of like, "Oh, what's the big deal?" The nah, 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 nah. And now I'm finally to the point where now I see all the things and I'm like, "Oh, this is a big deal. This absolutely is a big deal." So yeah, at first I was like, I'm just gonna stick my head in the sand because this is just not that big of a deal and it's not gonna affect me. And granted, it has not affected me directly, but there are enough people that I know that it will affect and it may have already affected. And that's another reason why I am just like, this is trash. And if you are using generative I hope you get blocked from all of the publishing places. No.
Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck what it is you stole. If you stole it, I want nothing to do with you. Is there the
Yeah.
possibility that sometimes we make mistakes and you might not know you did something? Absolutely. But then you just have to justify that you made a mistake and apologize and try harder next time not to make that mistake. But you didn't make a mistake going to Chat GPT, typing in your questions and letting it populate shit. You did not. You didn't make a mistake. You did all that consciously.
And then it's important also that even if you're just creating something as simple as a thumbnail, you need to make sure that you're using ethically sourced images. So make sure
Yeah,
that when you're pulling these images, go to royalty-free websites that you
right.
know, because like all the images that I've ever used in my thumbnails, it
Right, but
they it's
if
like
you
I
just
downloaded.
Google bunny.png, you're gonna get a shit ton of pictures of bunnies. And some of them are going to be legit. Like, that's the thing, is you have to figure out where they're coming from. Like, that's your job if you're gonna do that way. It is
Yeah,
your job to do the investigating. But also be aware that if you make a mistake, you are gonna have to address it. The want being there is not the problem. The problem is that we've all acknowledged that humans are more than just the animal urges. And if we're more than just the animal urges, then we must control said animal urges. Or we're not more
right,
than them, we just are them. So I
right.
understand you want to feel like you wrote something and you want to feel like you did this awesome thing. Be happy with 20 readers over 500 fake readers who you got from bullshit. 20 readers who are reading your real work are better than 500 readers reading bullshit.
Absolutely.
You might think that your check clearing is the difference there, but also let's be 100% real. We live in the internet age. And the moment someone with a big mouth gets wind of what you're up to, you're going to get roasted. And then you're going to get death threats. And then you're going to be shocked. And you're going to say, I don't deserve to be treated this way. When in fact, no one deserves to get death threats, but you set yourself up for fucking disaster. And that goes for research too. Don't use ChatGPT for research for a number of reasons. Number one, still not ethically sourced. Number two, incredibly bad for the environment. And number three, aren't you supposed to be an intelligent writing person? Like, why do you need to do that? Like, it just tells me that you don't actually know how to write. And, that's all well and good. My mom doesn't know how
Yeah.
to write, but my mom doesn't want to be a writer.
And if you're a struggling writer and you need help, there are other human beings out there who are more than welcome to help you. They're more than
Yes,
willing to help. You know?
absolutely.
Yeah, you might have to pay them. You might have to share your royalties
To
on
be
the
real,
page.
do you wanna try to find a way to get it free? I'm gonna tell you the secret. Here's the secret. You go to one of these streams, like the one you're in right now, and you go into the comment section and you say, I'm stuck. I have this problem. Has anyone ever had to solve this before? And if you're in a stream with other writers, chances are one of them has. And you'll probably get 5 suggestions, and maybe one of them will work. Or None of them will work, but you'll read them and you'll go, oh, I didn't think about this other thing. None of them did either, but I didn't think of it until now. So, like, you can still do the same thing functionally, but just bounce it off the real people. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we should be
But-
using each other as sources and to talk about our writing. And that's part of why a community matters, because otherwise, why would we bother having a community?
I was gonna say, isn't that kind of the whole purpose of us creating this writing community that we have been desperately clinging on to for the last, 10 years?
Right? I think I'm at 8.
Back then, shame on me for being like, oh, what's the big deal? But I took the time and I was educated and I listened to what people had to say, and it is a big deal. And I think that
But also, you didn't go out and run your mouth and tell everybody this isn't a big deal. You waited until you had decided what your actual stance was on it. And those are different things.
not everybody could do that because there's way too many hotheads with big mouths that are just jumping on all the bandwagons and bullshit.
And then, you have like people who are raising families and stuff. They don't have time to fuck with all this shit.
And let's be real, I am not above apologizing when I'm wrong, but I certainly hate going on the apology tour.
Yeah, and to be real, humans, especially American humans, don't do great in apology. But you can solve that by not setting yourself up to have to apologize. Right.
'Cause I'll tell you what, if I ever found out, if this is a promise, this is an absolute promise. If I ever found out that somebody was taking my work and stealing it and claiming it to be their own, I would absolutely publicly crucify them and
Yeah.
demand
Yeah.
a public apology.
Yeah, you better
Not one of
expect a
these-
fire under your ass.
Yeah, not one of these bullshit YouTube videos. No, no, no. You are coming on a stream with me and you are going to kiss my whole triple wide ass is what you're going to do. Okay? So don't steal from Ava Fox. She will come at you.
That's the thing, is nobody wants to be stolen from. If you're trying to publish and you're trying to do these things, it is your responsibility to find the time to figure it out. Because you need to be able to express your stance on these things. And here's the thing, you might not agree with me. I'm not going to read your books if you're using generative AI. I'm not going to promote your books. I probably won't have you on my stream if I know that you're using it.
Here's another idea. If you are having a hard time finishing it, there's a collaboration. You could
Yes.
collaborate with another human being, two brains working together to complete one project. And all you have to do is, me and my friend Jane over here, we wrote a book together. Sometimes we're like, it's work. And sometimes we need to have conversations like this where we're like, hey, we got to bring attention to the other writers in our community, and we have to let the other writers in our community know we might be small and we might not have massive platforms and everything, but we don't approve. And I think we have valid reasons for not approving.
As a heavy-set 6-foot-tall woman, I've never been called small before. I did get a little bit of work done. More so, I worked on a video. This one, but I'm still working on it, obviously. But yeah, so things are going okay. It is Saturday at like a little after 12:30. So I still have plenty of time to do stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I might play a game for a while. I might go back to working on Hellsbend. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I guess we'll see. So it's going on 3 o'clock. I'm still working on the video. I'm actually really enjoying working on it right now, so I'm going to keep doing it while I enjoy it. And what I don't do, I'll finish tomorrow, but at least I'm making some progress. Yeah, there's not much else going on. I'm kind of hanging out by myself right now. My husband is away at a tabletop game, so I'm here. Oh no! Me and the kitties. Meow. Well, it looks like this video is going to be really, really long. I'm really sorry. I felt like I cut out a lot of our conversation about AI, but like, there's still a lot there. But I also felt like I couldn't leave out nuance because it's important to talk about those things and talk about our experiences and things. So I'm sorry, but I did my best. Don't forget to let me know down below. You can tell me that it was way too long down below. That's okay. I don't mind. Otherwise, tell me whatever you think about AI down below. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so I'm at Sky's stream. We're like 15 minutes left on a sprint, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about the AI thing real quick and clear up a couple things. First, people's opinions change. Neither me or Dana are experts on anything here. Neither of us is infallible. If evidence were to change that something was proven to be untrue, we would definitely change our opinions. And as much as I want to say, feel free to have a discussion and feel free to disagree, abuse in the comment section is going to be deleted and you will be banned, and I'm just not going to watch people treat each other like shit in the comment section on my channel. So I apologize. That's just the way it's going to be. So as far as my progress, I'm almost done with tomorrow's video, and I've got it tight enough that I think it'll be a manageable length. I don't love putting out a long video. I'm very sorry for how long this video is, but I feel like I included the appropriate stuff. So I'm sorry if it feels long-winded. I didn't try to do that, but that's kind of the nature of having a conversation rather than just like spewing information at you. So I apologize. Anyway, I'm actually going to wrap it up here. I'm going to put Sunday's footage on next week's video because I can. Because I'm the fucking boss. Because it's my own fucking channel. I'll see you guys all next week. Don't forget, I stream on Twitch on Thursday and Friday night at 7 p.m. Central. Usually video games. Then on Saturday mornings, usually at 9 a.m., I stream with Dana and we do raid sprints. That's also on my Twitch channel. So if you would like to hang out with us, please come and join us. And I will see you guys all elsewhere. What?
No, you are coming on a stream with me and you are going to kiss my whole triple wide ass, is what you're going to do. Okay? So don't steal from Ava Fox. She will come at you.